Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. As you might be able to hear, I'm very sniffly today. I've woken up with a cold, so please excuse me on mic. I will do my best to mute that mic so it doesn't blast your ears every time I sneeze in today's session. Because I've woken up with a cold, I'm going to take it easy today, all right? I always listen to my mental state and my body first. The moment I'm not feeling 100%, it means that I'm going to be slightly off my game. So I'm going to react accordingly to that. Good morning, everyone in stream. Exister, Thumper, Miguel, Chris, Asa, Minix, Coop, Marek, Glenn, and Jeff. Good morning, everyone. So as always, we're going to start with top-down analysis, right? Starting off on the daily chart. Last week, you can see we had a very nice move from this red line here all the way, closing at weekly high up here. All right, this was the move from Monday to Friday last week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. As we've talked about, where are we stuck? Currently stuck at the top Bollinger Band on the daily with the 5-day trending up. Right, lovely bullish trend on a higher time frame. But we're running out of room right now to expand, right? So we will need to either grind together with the 5-day and the 20-day, the relationship that we've talked about numerous times before, just like here, how it likes to act for a move higher. We also have to remember the gaps we have in the chart and the possibility of a first red day. So the levels which are important on this higher time frame include this high right here on Thursday and also the low on Thursday, because this is effectively the Newsweek low right here. So these are important levels we need to mark out and pay attention to. Obviously, from a structure point of view, that would be support. Overnight, we pushed up and failed above 700 at that top Bollinger Band for now. We're going to go into some more detail shortly. So as I move down through the charts, now going to the hourly chart, you can see this drive up overnight. Okay, so overnight, we extended through Friday's high and created effectively supply up here. Light volume, but it is supply nonetheless. We failed. We pushed through 700, turned back inside, and came down towards the old point of control. If we think about this from a structural point of view, I just want you to think about structure. Here is your drive up. Here is your consolidation. Here is the expansion. And we've come back into this area of support. Now, if we start to fail anywhere around here today, we can expect that this will become supply, and everyone who got long on Friday and didn't sell on any push might then become sellers, forcing the market to go lower. We have divergence in the market, all right? We were looking potentially for this play into this gap fill and this Newsweek low right here. The YM did this exact move last week, and I'm not sure, possibly or maybe the RTY did and the YM didn't. I'm going to have a look in a second. But some of the markets, like we talked about, we had relative strength in tech on Friday. Some of the markets have been rejecting and rolling over on Friday back towards this Newsweek low. This level down here is key, all right? I would say 21,440, all right? And then we have a gap fill right in here. This is the gap up from Tuesday, Wednesday. Make sure I got that right. Yeah, Tuesday, Wednesday. This is the gray box here. That's the gap area. All right, so no real liquidity in here. Very, very thin underneath this old value area low. Which means from an hourly point of view and a daily point of view, if we're going to continue higher, we're going to need to reprice into here, hold price action, and simply grind higher, something like that. If we are going to do a move lower, I would like to see a pump to dump, a move to reprice, some form of rejection, a lower high versus overnight high, a lower low, lower high, lower low, and we can start to trade back into some of this range. If we continue to get weak, then the draws on liquidity will be this Newsweek and this gap fill area. Remember, from a higher time frame point of view, even if we come down there on an hourly, on a daily chart, this would just be a healthy pullback, and we expect bulls to then potentially get back involved for a move back for a rotation higher. I'm not saying that happens today. It's just something I'm looking at. Momentum, all right, is upside. We talked about that. If you didn't do the video over the weekend, very simple. We ask ourselves, what is momentum? What is location? Momentum is upside. Best buying location is probably where all these buyers have shown up before. All right, we don't want to buy up here unless we trap enough shorts to do that move. All right, unless we trap enough shorts to do that move, which would be a move lower with a quick reprice and something that we can base off with trend change for expansion. So those are the two things I'm looking at. Very simple. We either put in a bear trap for a move higher, or we start getting stuck, right, using Friday's liquidity and overnight liquidity for potential move back down. This would be the easiest move if it presented today. I know it's not pro trend, but it's possible that we get a 4-hour, M15, M5 all in alignment for that move, if only if it wants to do it. All right, we're just building thesis out here of what we might look at, not what will definitely happen. London is an interesting one. All right, London is an interesting one. London broke through the Asia high, took out Friday high, got stuck on the retest and failed, and took out the Asia low and swept a lot of this liquidity from Friday. We still have this level here, and again the don't do that, and again the Friday 830 low right here. I'm going to expand this out. This is our Newsweek low from Friday. All right, so NFP low. Right, and remember that got taken on some of the other indexes, didn't get taken on NQ. So that is, we're going to get rid of some of this. That is pretty much what I'm looking at today. I'm going to keep it very, very simple. We're either going to do a pump to dump, we're either going to push up, fail into the H1 imbalance, fail into overnight supply, and look for a rotation lower, or if we are simply going to grind or trap, right? A trap would be like this. A grind would just be a move up and a slow grind up, maybe one deep pullback and a slow grind up, very much like Friday, this kind of action here. Then I'll be looking to try and participate long if it allows me to get in. I won't be forcing myself into the market on Monday. Remember, Monday, Tuesday will create our range for the week, and then we can judge what the weekly model is based off of that. Hopefully that has you set. I'm going to move down to a lower time frame now, mainstream, and you can see here very clearly where we put in this high overnight. So this was the first failed attempt to make a new high. So I'm going to mark all of this out. I'm going to do this in red. It's just overnight high. It's not heavy supply, but it's worth noting. If we go from the overnight high to the current low, it's down a bit. All right, some of these returns back inside would be of interest to me. All right, somewhere here, somewhere here, somewhere here. All right, if we can do something like this, then I can get short. Or if we can do something like this up here, then I can get short, or just a failed attempt. Right, some sort of bearish pattern up here to get involved in. I won't be guessing and just hitting short on the drive up, because like I said, if it wants to grind and trap, it can. When we are looking across the indexes for some form of confluence, I'm looking at VIX. VIX is gapped up. VIX is still in that channel, 1377, right, down to 1270. Most of that liquidity is based between 1290, I would say, and sort of 1360. All right, so we have a gap up on the VIX, which I'm watching. Looking at the Mag 7, where they're going to open. Apple in a big sell right now, right? Apple starting to get weak. 2 minutes to the open. Apple starting to get weak off Friday's high. Microsoft trading down. Amazon showing a little bit of strength with a gap up here and looking to drive higher. Google opening inside Friday's range. Meta, very similar, opening inside Friday's range. Nvidia is in a sell, right? Chips other than SMCI, which had a pump after it got allowed an extension to, what was it, to hand in, I can't even remember what that headline now was. They were delayed on handing in some of their accounts for the year, so they got an extension on that. They were trading upside, but the rest of the chips have been downside. Tesla on an absolute ripper. All right, Tesla is short squeezing everyone now, approaching 400. Massive move on Tesla. So mixed bag on Mag 7. Most of the Mag 7 sort of trading inside or downside, other than Tesla, which is on a big, big push. All right, so looking to see if we have some failures turn up in the market today on tech. Ideally, like I said, I would love a pump to dump. That will be the easiest play today if we can get it. Back into chat. All right, good morning, Jeff, DJ, Max, Eva, Glenn, the red line. Good morning, everyone. So we have 30 seconds till open, and market starting to show some weakness already, probably coming from the tech sector like we talked about. Keep your eye on ES, keep your eye on VIX today. Remember, we've had divergence across the market all week last week, making it very, very difficult. So just let it settle down. Those of you who are playing the opening range breakout, you can think about that 1 minute, 5 minute, 15-minute opening range. Remember, you are trading right now in and around value area or point of control from last week. So here is the open right now. Let's see what we get. Pump to dump would be ideal, in my opinion. That's what I would love to see, but market loves to make sure we don't get what we would easily want. So at the open, Apple red, Microsoft red, Google red, Meta red, Nvidia red, Tesla green, and Amazon just about green. So waiting for at least this 1 minute candle to close in a straight sell here. Thank you, Miguel, for joining the membership. Appreciate it. Didn't see I just launched that. Going to be doing some exclusive content for members, and sometimes it will be members only chat. Here is the market showing some weakness then this morning, as we talked about, likely to see a potential pullback, and we are starting to fail, coming right now already down into Thursday's high. Okay, so watching Thursday's high, we had that on the higher time frame charts, on the daily charts. Need to be aware of that Thursday high like we talked about. Are we going to hold price at Thursday's high, or will we start drifting all the way down, possibly into that NFP low? Who knows? Very, very early to think about that. But so far, a morning sell, now trading right back upside towards where we opened from. So Mag 7 trying to go green here. Apple trying to go green. Microsoft trying to go green. Amazon about 1% up. Tesla still 2% up. All right, so lots of these trying to go red to green on the session. I'm just going to let this shake out a little bit. If you're looking at that opening 1 minute, your opening range break right now would be to the upside. All right, your opening range break on the 1 minute, if you're playing it, would be to upside. Thank you, Marek and Miguel, both of you. Very kind of you joining this morning since I launched. So trading back up towards VWAP here. I'm letting this market just settle down a bit. I'm focusing on the 5 minute and 15 minute to start the day. Like I said, I would love to see a pump to dump. That would be the easiest play in my opinion. If it can drive up and then show me some failure. If it drives up and shows no sort of weakness in the market, then I expect us to have just trapped shorts and probably grind all day higher, very much like Friday. So we're looking at the hourly chart now, higher time frame, to see if and how we act in this gap, in these levels here, old value area high, something in towards 60 all the way up, possibly up to 80. And then we can think about if the market wants to show weak. Most of Mag 7 now green. Nvidia, the only one red on the session. 2.75% down on the session, but most of the Mag 7 green now. So all of them finding bids this morning so far. We didn't even check in on that Thursday high yet. Haven't come low enough. Make sure you're zooming out, understanding where we are on a daily chart, on an hourly chart. Remember also we have news at 10 o'clock. All right, so on that new 4-hour bar, we have news. So far stuck at VWAP. Indecision on the 5 and 15 minute here. Trading back towards your opening range break high right now on the 1 minute. So remember, I think that offered you a 1-to-1 on that opening range break. So you should have taken most of your profits there. On an opening range break, you don't want to be holding beyond a 1-to-1, anything other than runners. We talk about it on the video for the orb trading on my channel. Wondering if we see a push and weakness start to show in the market here. Still very, very early in the session. I'm getting involved here for a snapshot just in case we start to break down. Moving my stop in the money already. Looking for weakness and a break of structure under here. Beautiful. Scalping some out there. Can we see more weakness in this market? I'd love to see us trade down towards Thursday's high. Mag 7 starting to rotate now. Very mixed bag. Watching this carefully to see if we get a break of structure here. VIX starting to push upside towards that 1350. So far on the day, we are just in a range on the market right now. Okay, taking the rest off there. So locking in $600 on that opening trade. Nice and small base hits to start the day. Hands off now while we shake out. We're clearly just in a range. You can see on a 5-minute bar and 15-minute bar. All right, so new 5-minute bar here. Trading back upside. You want to see how it reacts towards 610 now. Liquidity on the book, very, very split this morning. All right, there is a buyer down at 450, 100 lot, and another buyer down at 560, 150 lot. Upside, seller, small lot, 50 lot up at 750, another 50 lot up at 660. So nothing huge, not like last week when we were seeing those 200 lots. Definitely in the Asia session last night, there were some big orders left on the book. I don't know if any of you traded Sunday Open or Asia, but there were some big orders on the book when I came to the market to have a look. There we go, market trading back up to the imbalance we talked about on that 5-minute, back towards 610. How it reacts here is going to be key. VIX through 1350 now, just about. And just in a range here, I'm not in a trade here right now. I'm flat now. Took the snapshot for a move, didn't get the break of structure, so cut the rest. Good morning, Abe. Morning, Ryan. Morning, Glenn. Morning, everyone. So small range so far on this opening 5 minutes. Remember, higher time frame right now is bullish. On a daily, we're bullish. Possibly on an hourly, we want to move lower. All right, possibly on the hourly, we want to move lower. So far, we are still underneath Asia London low. So the morning drive rejected inside Asian London range and started to rotate lower. And then we took out the pre-market low, London low so far. Are we going to expand range to the downside or not? That's the question right now. Again, Mag 7 very, very mixed. Tesla still up now. Now up 3.65% with a breakout over 400. Amazing strength from Tesla. Amazon also up 0.5%. Apple pretty much flat. Everything else red. So mixed bag on the Mag 7 to start the session. Across the board, RTY up almost 1%. YM up 0.2%. And ES is just about red, flirting red to green soon. Not much to do here while we trade inside. All right, while we're trading inside, remember this is your range currently on New York session. So do we reject here to trade lower? I would have loved to have seen a pump to dump, maybe not that high, maybe somewhere here. That would have been ideal location to think about the pullback to get short into. When I'm saying the pullback to get short into, I'm talking about the hourly chart. Remember, on an hourly chart right now, I'm looking at a move into here somewhere. We've just about tapped it for a move possibly down into this range. That's what I would love today, because that would be the easiest play for me, in my opinion. Maybe we're going to wait for that 10 o'clock news. Definitely popped a lot of stops underneath 600 this morning. 240 stops got popped there as we start to rotate back upside now. Still inside the 5-minute and 15-minute range. So if you look at the opening 5-minute bar, the opening 15-minute bar, which hasn't closed yet on the 15-minute, we're still just inside that range. A little bit of divergence here as ES looks like it might want to make a new low on the New York session while we drift higher on the NQ. Feel like I said that every single day last week, pretty much. Let's mark off New York Open as well, something I haven't done yet this morning. Trading right into it now. Not much to do here. Still inside that opening 5 and 15-minute range. We're underneath VWAP. We're trading right at that New York Open. Mag 7 flipping from red to green, green to red, and some of it trying to go back green on the session now. So Apple just about green on the session. Amazon about 1% up now, driving nicely. Google just gone red to green, just about. Meta 0.25% up, Nvidia 2.5% down, and Tesla 2% up. All right, so Tesla now trading back inside that 400 level. That is going to be key today. How does it operate around that 400 level? All right, is that a blow off top for it to now sell back downside? That is a huge move up to 400 in the last few sessions. Remember, we have news coming in 20 minutes or just under. VIX still drifting higher, right? Need to see how VIX operates around 1360. Break of 1360 will take it up to 1375. A break of that, and we really should be seeing a push into sort of 410, 415. A breakout of that really opens the door for a bigger push up towards the 15s. If we do that move, then we will see weakness across the market today. A little bit choppy to start the morning, to start the week. Not surprising. Remember, the higher time frame wants to go upside. The hourly might offer a right shoulder and a bear flag at some point for a deeper rotation pullback. Timing that is going to be key if it's going to do it. If it doesn't do it, then we're thinking about that grind higher. Right, we're flirting around the New York Open right now. ES making a new low of day. All right, just in the New York session I'm talking about, new low of day. Are we going to start breaking down here? How we operate around this New York Open seems to be key right now. If we're going to rotate lower, we can think about trading back into and under 575, 530, and then really we're thinking about 440. Big if. Flow zone's pretty much flat. All right, flow zone's flat. It's telling you no trend on the day so far. We are in liquidity build. Fresh low of day on the session on ES. As the Qs look to try and push higher. So just trading right now at point of control from Friday. All right, so we're sitting above overnight point of control and we're trading at Friday's point of control, effectively 25. Value area high would be a rotation towards 660. If we get up there and we start getting weak, that could potentially be the right shoulder. If we trade straight through it, then we're going to think about that grind and squeeze higher type day. Here's your high on session, 42s. Break of 42s will extend the range, and then you need to think about, can we get up back towards this overnight high? Are we going to start rejecting into 50 and golden zones or not? Good morning, Aid. Remember, we've got news at the top of the hour. So drifting higher here on the market. Yeah, struggling to move upside here. All right, so we have divergence again, lower time frame divergence, but we do have divergence. Remember, these are previous day close, previous day high up here if it wants to come and attack it during a New York session. This is overnight high. Lower time frame momentum trying to go bullish here to extend the range, but so far not a new high on the New York session. That opening drive is currently the high of session. So 3rd minute bar, pin high, that is currently the high of session. We are aiming to take that out right now, and then it's going to see if it can extend into previous day high up here. Remember, we have a big imbalance as we start to move high created in London right here in the H1. So I'm thinking about how we react here. Do we start to fail, or do we simply reprice and grind? So NQ at VWAP. SPY and ES cannot get through VWAP. QQQ and NQ are now through VWAP. VIX trading back inside that 1350. All right, so back inside the gap up level that it put in this morning. So it gapped up from 1270 all the way up to 1335, had a morning drive, pulled back, repriced some of that drive, pulled back into range. So far, no edge this morning in Monday's session. $42 is your high of session. All right, so we're trading right up to that right now. So probably short stops in this session are right here. So you can see this candle here. So probably pop these if we can pop these and find some bids or run the stops, maybe a squeeze into previous day close, previous day high. So here is the pop. Here you go. So starting to try and squeeze up now into these levels, into these daily levels. So expanding New York session range now. Can they find some buyers to come in here on a breakout for New York session breakout to drive us into daily levels? That's what we're looking at right now. Oh my God. I'm going to mute, guys, because sorry about that. Like I said, feeling a bit under the weather this morning. So some selling coming in here yet again. Still haven't hit those daily levels. Trading back towards VWAP. ES looks like it wants to make a potentially a new low if it can't find bids around 92s. News coming in 9 minutes or so. Supply to the left, I'd say, yeah, I mean, there is some, most of the supply overnight is up around 680. But on an H1, yes, this is what we're looking at, this potential right shoulder being priced, but no pattern yet. Even if you're going to do something like this, very small on the session, maybe some breakdown here. Ali. A little bit different to what I'm suffering from right now. Ryan. Well, that's lovely for listeners, eh? Just not all on the mic. Starting to break down a little bit here. Again, you've got New York open right here. Get rid of that. It's an old anchor. Don't need that. Trading into flow zone. So have to see here. It's very, very tight. Looking at even a 5 minute. Just trading into midpoint. So no reason to get short yet. Zero reason to get short yet. Haven't repriced high enough on this H1, and we've got news coming in 7 minutes right now. All right. So once we get through that news. ES is starting to look a little weak, though, I must say. ES starting to feel like it wants to make a new low, maybe come and sweep that overnight level into 88. Very tempted to take this if we get lower high, lower low, but really once we get under New York open, that's probably a better indication. Going to just take my hand off that mouse. Market might just be waiting for the news to come. I'm going to watch the book, see if it starts to thin out as we get towards that news. ES having another attempt here on a 5 minute bar. It's got another minute left of this 5 minute bar. Does it close weak or not? Clear rejection on the SPY at VWAP. NQ or QQQ, I should say, trading right to its VWAP. All right, so New York session VWAP, we are still holding it, still above it on QQQ, below it on the SPY. So again, divergence in the market, very much like last week. Yeah, higher time frame does say up CC. Higher time frame, the daily does say up. I'm thinking about being a buyer, but I would like to be a buyer much, much lower right now. Looking at that Thursday daily bar, I'm looking at the hourly candle that we put in at 4 a.m. this morning. If we get through that hourly candle, start to grind our way through it, then maybe I'm going to have to buy higher. What I don't want to do is buy a pump move here if they're looking to rotate lower after trapping buyers in this session. So just trying to be patient here. Let the market build the liquidity and show its hand. Doing the VWAP dance then. Across the indexes, doing the VWAP dance. Looking at joining this breakdown if it becomes clear and obvious. The problem is the timing. Maybe I'll try tiny size here. I want to be very cautious of a sweep and a trade back upside if it does do it. Nothing setting up quite yet. What's the time? Now, I'm going to wait 3 minutes till news. Better to wait here. We did tap in just above the 50% on the fib. I zoom right out here, make sure I'm on the right chart. All right, so from overnight high to New York low, we did trade just above 50%, and we keep finding sellers up here. Like I said, the easiest play for me this morning would be a pump to dump. That would make sense for me. If they're looking for a rotation for buyers to pick it up lower, they'd want to pump it higher, trap buyers in towards a good fib, rotate it lower, use their stops to get a deeper pullback, and then buy back the market at a much cheaper price. That would be an easier play for me today, in my head anyway. Morning, Mindful Matters. Hope you had a good weekend. All right, so news here in just over 2 minutes. Market starting to show some weakness here on the Qs as we go risk off. Nvidia, Meta, Google, and Microsoft now red. Tesla failing to get back above 400. Back towards that New York open. Trying to stay focused on 5 and 15-minute bars here this morning, not be too zoomed in. Trading back into mid of range pretty much. Think about the New York range, the high and the low of New York. We're trading into midpoint right now. Definite some weakness coming into this market here. Back to point of control from Friday and today. Lots of volume being built up here. So just over 40 seconds till the news. then we should be clear for the session. Watching the book to see if it thins out. Still got that buyer right down at 21,560, 150 lot down there, and another 119 lot down at 21,450. There's a small lot, 62 lot at 500, 21,500. So there are buyers down lower. Those act like magnets, we can think about the draw towards them, but we need to see some form of confirmation that it actually wants to move down. Nothing right now. We're just building liquidity on a potential right shoulder or bear flag, which can also just grind higher if it wants to, because the higher time frame narrative still says upside on a daily. Book not really thinned out too much, and we're into the new hourly bar, new 4-hour bar. Oh, there we go. So watching to see how they act here. Is this a trap to move higher now? Not really interested in joining the longs right now, I'm going to be honest with you. Very small range on the day. 66 points range so far in the first half an hour. So stuck there at VWAP yet again. No real move from the VIX. Bit of a sideways session so far, isn't it? But still holding that New York Open. That last pullback in was holding that New York Open underneath internal low. This is what I'm saying. If they want to trap here, they will. I feel better about a short if we start being very, very obvious about a breakdown. Don't feel good about anything right here, trading in the middle of the session without alignment. Flow zones are pretty much sideways right now. No trend. Nothing showing up inside the New York session. No clear trend. Nothing clear and obvious right now. Building liquidity out. The one trade I've taken today was this move from here for a failure, and we didn't get a break of structure, so I took partials and then I cut runners on the return back up. That is all I've taken so far. Maybe we get a breakdown here. It would be really nice and easy if they want to do it. Stuck at VWAP. Here is New York Open now starting to break. Right? Are they going to let go of New York Open? ES trying to go upside while we're trying to go downside. Hilarious. So ES looking to try and drive back to VWAP. Unable to do it yet. SPY peeked through, traded back inside. Everything very, very choppy right now. Low zone still pretty much sideways. Do they start letting this go? That's the question. VIX trading towards its low on session. Not what you want to see. Just hands off right now. Nothing clear and obvious right now. QQQ right at its VWAP, NQ underneath its VWAP, but holding on to the New York Open. ES beneath its VWAP and beneath its New York Open. Yep, exactly. I'm watching that M15 as well, but that last bar on the M15 we drove up, got through 50%, traded back inside the range. The bar before it, we expanded the range downside and ended up trading back upside. So again, nothing very clear. We've got a new hourly bar here, new 4-hour bar. We are trading at today's point of control and Friday's point of control. Right here, we're just trading at point of control. This is where all the volume has been since Friday. So very tender area. One side will lose, right? One side will lose. Once we know which side is going to feel the pain, we can try and join in the slipstream. Yeah, Apple currently up just over 0.5% on the day. But it's a real mixed bag, Greg. Very, very mixed bag. Amazon a percent up, Microsoft down, Google down, but might be able to go back red to green. Meta down over 0.5%, Nvidia down 2%, Tesla up 2%. Mixed bag right now. Chinese ADRs did open very, very strong today. So Baba and stuff like that. Li Auto, I'm assuming, opened up. Neo, etc., etc. Do we break down here? Mid-session trades here, right? Mid-range of the session. Very, very ugly. Starting to let go of New York Open, though. Not much volume stepping in here for the sell. Right, no big kill candle, no engulfing candle, nothing like that. There's been no engulfing candles on the day. Just very choppy. SPY very clearly rejecting VWAP. I'd say 5, 10, last 15 minutes all rejecting VWAP. Still got 3 minutes left in this M5 bar. Not much to do. Very boring morning so far. Tight range, building out liquidity. If it continues to do that, maybe we get something after the initial balance, or maybe in the afternoon session. Maybe we don't get anything till tomorrow. Ali saying, love to see ES sweep the overnight low to get long. Where's that overnight low? The 88s. Yeah, is that what you're looking at? Did we have S&T there? I mean, we had an S&T on that where NQ did sweep it and ES didn't. On that opening pullback. News at 11. Is there really? Oh, I must have missed that. Let me have a look. I got nothing scheduled. What news do you have? Maybe it's like oil or something. I don't have a filter on for. So ES looking to expand here. It wants to expand towards low of day. Oh, that's weird that I can't see that on my watch list. Thank you, Miguel. Appreciate that. All right, good to know. Good to know. Thank you, T. And this is why it's good to trade in a community. So if you don't see something or you miss something, I must have my filters Not showing me that. Good to know. So more news at 11 o'clock. Is that orange folder news, I would assume, consumer inflation expectations, or have they got it as red folder? So ES here potentially trying to break down. Coming for its low on session here on ES. Trading into 90 now. So ES fresh low of day on the New York session I'm talking about. It's looking to trade towards its pre-market low. We are still at point of control on NQ. All right, so ES is down here right now, equivalent of down here right now. Flow zone still pretty much flat. All right, everything stacked together. VWAP, lower time frame algo, momentum and deep pullback all stacked together. Never a good sign if you like to trade with trend. That's not a good sign on the session when everything flat like that. Be watching that 600 whole number as well. Joining this for a breakdown here. Momentum scalp, see if we can extend this range. Stop already in the money. Right, just under here. Had that sell signal, not a great, amazing trade, but taking this breakdown here. Holding runners right now. Watching to see if ES wants to snap. We start reclaiming our cut. Watching at 14. At New York Open level. That's why I'm saying 14 or 15. Might as well call it 15. VIX trying to trade through 1350. 1360, the level for VIX it needs to get through if we're actually going to see something. So in scalp mentality here this morning while we trade inside the initial balance range. I'll take this off here, the rest break even. A small win, just over $1,000 on the day now, not much. In scalp mentality while we're inside initial balance until it proves otherwise. We're just chopping between lots of levels right now, building liquidity. So I'm being very aggressive with my stop. Small size, aggressive with stop, take profit until it starts to prove itself for me. Still at point of control right now. Range still very small, 66 points range on the session. 45 minutes into the session, 15 minutes until the initial balance is printed. That is very small range for NQ. We can easily do that range in 1 minute if it wants to. Bonds look very strong today. All of them up 1% or 0.5%. Gold with a bit of a bounce today as well, 1.5% up. Ryan, am I using TraderFi? If so, do I have any issues with the bracket trading like you were at the start? Nope, I am using TraderFi. Everything's working fine, but I am trading in Ninja. So my bracket orders are on at ATM in Ninja. But everything working absolutely fine for me this morning. New low of day here on ES. ES trading towards its 5-day, right? Its 5-day moving average, right? That mean reversion off the top Bollinger happening on ES. We would have to go a lot lower on NQ to search for the 5-day, whereas our 5-day all the way down here at the previous New York Open. Let me get rid of that. Don't need that. See you later. Thank you, Aaron. Appreciate all you guys joining. Just helps me do the stream each and every day for free for everyone. So breaking down here on ES. ES coming into that overnight low, into its 5-day moving average. That step one for mean reversion. Lots of room if it wants to go back to previous day low. Lots of room still. Big ifs. We're still inside the initial balance. Okay, we haven't even created initial balance, but ES is all the way down here. All right, equivalent of down here, and actually it's 5 days. So its low of day is the equivalent of down here. Very, very different charts because we have relative strength in the tech sector. Okay, Apple green, Microsoft green, Amazon green, Google green, Tesla green. Meta and Nvidia, the only ones red today. Yeah, I can help you with that, Ryan, if you need to set up Ninja, or you can always trade direct on TradeOvate. You're just trading one account at the moment, so you can always try using TradeOvate direct to execute, probably a little bit faster. Still web-based, but a little bit faster. So new lower day there on ES, now sweeping its overnight lows, trading into previous day close here. Is that previous day close, previous day open there on ES? Let's have a look. Previous day open. So trading into previous day open and finding some bids down there so far. So into daily levels and finding some bids so far on the ES. Be careful of this liquidity trend here on NQ can easily reclaim and start to pop. Remember, this is your initial balance right now. Very, very small. We have not expanded this initial balance pretty much since the opening 5-minute bar. All right. If you're using a 5-minute or 15-minute opening range breakout strategy, you are stuck inside it right now. Nothing has changed in the session. Very, very tight range. $10 minutes, or just over 10 minutes until the initial balance is printed. We're starting to trade underneath the point of controls now. So how we trade into 90, all right, basically low of days into 90 is key. If we start letting go of 590 on the NQ, there is chance for a rotation back into 532s. But again, all of this today, not much happening. But if we want to close the cup and create some form of handle for expansion, that would be very, very nice for moves down into these levels. 590 again, going to be key right here. Going to be key. Need to break down underneath this. Stuck at the New York Open again. Definite lack of momentum today. Lack of momentum and follow through, I'd say. No big engulfer here to look at other than this opening couple of minutes, which is just all the imbalances being traded. Win 268. Oh, you got short at 268. Are you saying, Max? Hang on. 268. 268? Do you mean 628? Maybe you mean here. 628 to here. It's a nice trade. Do I think it would be a good buy if it hits the previous lower low support zone? Lower low on what time frame are you looking at there, CC? I'm very, very much looking at this hourly. Like we talked about. This was a bullish pattern down here. This was a flag. This is a breakout. We're now trading back underneath. If we keep rejecting this and breaking down, we probably come back to where we found buys down here. And I'm going to respect this level as well. So buys down here maybe, or otherwise gap fill down here. That's where I think value is in this market right now. I don't think there's value up here right now. It can drift and grind higher, can happily do that, but it doesn't mean it's good value. That's what I'm looking at. I'm not necessarily trying to buy underneath these. I would rather see it come down here. If it comes down here and puts in a bullish pattern, fine. Assess the levels. I'd say, like, look at the levels that you're interested, but look for the reaction. You need bullish patterns in and around those levels. Don't just put a buy limit there as it drifts in, because it can just keep on going down. There's lots of room for downside. Remember, there's a big inefficiency for the market to fill if it wants to all the way down here. This is gap fill. It's a long, long way away. So that's the danger when you just put in limits. So you put in a limit here and they stop run it hard, and then they start building a trend for a few sessions. You're going to be caught in the market way too high. We are basically flat on the New York session. We're just at the New York Open right now. That's what I thought. Yeah, very nice, Max. Very, very nice, Max. Great work. And I hang around for the initial balance, see how we react there. Do we just trade the range? Do we expand the range? Do we have an auction? Do we have a failed auction? GEX levels, I don't even know what those are, Aaron. GEX levels. Globex levels, is that what you mean? So flow zone starting to try and hold price action down now. Rejecting, that's a clear rejection of New York Open there. All right, this is the first time starting to see a bit more sell volume come in. Oh, gamma levels from option chains. Yeah, like I would use those. I don't use them, but I think they can be very, very useful. Even using things like cheddar flow or what's the other one that's really good? It would come to me in a minute. There's another one that's really good that shows the gamma levels, and it shows the flow of SPY, SPX, QQQ. So ES coming into previous day open here. Currently at its 5-day, SPY very close to trading to its 5-day. QQQ lagging, but now comfortably underneath VWAP, and a rejection there on the last push into that New York open. You have initial balance set in 5 minutes time. So do they start to expand this now? Maybe we close the cup and expand with an auction. That would be very nice. So into the current IB low, ES still expanding into towards previous day open here. There's the expansion. I would have loved to have been involved in this, maybe off this bear flag into New York open would have been nice. I'm going to have to wait now. Don't want to chase this market lower. Market now starting to look like what I was looking for on the hourly chart. That failed to drive up, and now maybe a reprice lower. Love to join a trend auction down today. I think that would be really nice for the pullback leg on a daily. We're trading in right now towards Thursday's high. All right, this is Thursday's high coming up here. This was the key level that I wanted to trade back down towards for a pump to dump. So I wanted shorts a little bit higher before we move into this level. Momentum definitely down. Flow zone's a lot higher right now. Remember, initial balance is going to be set soon. Trading into the higher time frame algo, we have to think about, is this a sweep or can we have a continuation lower? Do we just have a chop day? We are trading right into that Thursday level. Remember, on a daily chart, we talked about, can we get a push off the Bollinger or somewhere around that into this level? If we start failing this, we're going to respect the open and close bars. Volume starting to look a little bit more aggressive here as some of the Mag 7 start to go red on the session. Complete split bag here. Google, Meta, Nvidia, Tesla now red. All right, that's the key here. Tesla fading that 400, trading back downside. Remember, you're still inside initial balance and you are at a key daily level. You are at a key daily level here where they might try and bid this market, might try and hold it up. Expansion lower into hourly blocks here. Oh, I really need to get involved here. It's making it very hard. One more minute left on a 5-minute bar. ES very, very weak by comparison, coming into Friday's pre-market lows. Remember, you are at an IB low right now. We're creating the initial balance low, which will close in 20 seconds. Then we can think about auctions, failed auctions, etc., etc. Location for the short now, not ideal. Unfortunately, momentum very, very strong. All right, location at low of day at IB low for a short, not ideal. Waited all day for it, and then it just gave it quite a decent move in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 minutes. See if we can reprice higher and then fail here. That would be a better location. Also, don't want to get caught on a squeeze. Don't want to get caught on a squeeze off the IB low. Leaving a good 5-minute imbalance above higher. Like this to squeeze up a bit and then fail. Watching ES into previous day open to see if sellers come in there for a trend day down. Don't want to get caught on the shorts. I'm not going to guess this top. It needs to like give a nice push. Make sure I'm on the right chart. Needs to give a nice push and then some sort of failure. Otherwise, if this is the run to then move higher, we can do it. Notice that reaction off the IBL. As soon as we printed that IBL, it's given a reaction. This is looking good for first time of a failure coming into this market. So I'm trying to see if this is it, small size. I'm just scalping right now until it proves otherwise. Now up $1,600 on the day. Remember, trend underneath IBL would be nice, but the location on that trend is problematic. If we go to the higher time frame charts, we have this flip block here, which we broke out from. All right, we've just priced into sweeping everything. So have to be cautious if they put in some form of buying pattern here. Have to be cautious. This is a better place to be buying from. If they start to fail it, then we keep moving down, moving down, moving down until they find an area of value that they want to buy from. A nice short was up here this morning. Oh, cold. My head is starting to really hurt here as well. Remember your initial balance rules, rotational rules, auction theory rules. ES is trading between its IBL and the 5-day and previous day open. That 400 level on Tesla became a sell point. They must have trapped buyers up there. I'm not even looking at the chart, but I can see it was 3+% up today for that move up, and it's starting to give it all back. So the question is, when and where do buyers come in, if at all? Can we get a break of structure to the downside here? Oh. There's a weird fill there on Traderfy. I'm going to be hands off for a second. ES rejection of previous day open and the 5-day. If ES is really going to reject hard, we can get a bigger mean reversion here. Again, location now, not ideal. It's one of those things where the timing is tough. You want to be careful if the market wants to reprice into this and then see how it reacts here, or if it reclaims. If this is a move down for buyers to come in, remember this is higher time frame. Oh, I'm on the wrong chart. Okay, I can do it from here. Remember this blue zone, we had this in for a reason. We expect buyers might want to come in here. So we're looking for rotation back into maybe these areas now. These wicks, lower value area low and point of control, and to see if we reject it or if we're just going to trend lower here for an IBL extension for an auction lower. Location not ideal until it proves otherwise. Flow zone starting to catch up now, which is good. Should not be guessing the long here. Okay, cannot say that enough. No guessing the long. Buyers on the book now, 525 and 500. What was the blue? It was old supply, which might now be demand. On the H1 chart, is that what you're talking about? Old supply that might now be demand. So holding the initial balance low here, no expansion. ES doing exactly the same. Nice rejection there. Do we print a new low on the day, though? This is the question here. Can it get a break of structure lower? It is desperately trying to, but it is struggling to get that break of structure lower. There it is. And instantly back up. So a fight here. There's going to be a battle here at the IBL. Because we're in higher time frame, potentially higher time frame demand on that H1, the blue box, which is exactly where the IBL is. Like I said, the location here now is not exactly ideal. If we start to let go of it, it can still be a good location. Momentum is definitely downside right now. So thesis playing out this morning. I would have liked that pump this morning, the pump to dump, to be a bit higher. It would have been nice, but like I said, we don't always get what we want. At least we got a piece of this. Those in Discord, if you have a look at what I gave you this morning, the yellow line, the pump to dump, that is the template we're currently in. Remember, this is just a higher time frame pullback leg. It's important to remind yourself where you are. All right, we're in a pump to dump for a daily pullback. All right, coming into key areas now. So expansion of IBL here for the first time. ES has not expanded IBL yet. We're starting to chop through this block now. All right, so this could very well, if it wants to be in a sell day, go and attack that NFP low. Could very well go for that NFP low today, which is why I had it marked out. That's way, way, way lower. Newswick low, where are you? 830, this right here, 440. That is possible today if it wants to. 440 is possible today if it wants to go for that NFP low. Mag 7 starting to look heavy here. Apple and Microsoft, the only stocks up on the session now. Beautiful. Beautiful. Trying to get more of this. Not enough size left. Looking more in there from that failure of IBO. So up 2,000 on the day now. I would like to find a way to get involved for that move back down towards 440. I would love to find a way to get involved in this. Okay, so for those in Discord, this morning we talked about this move here, the pump, the yellow line, the pump to dump right back into these levels. Otherwise, it was the grind. It was one of those plays turning up today. There's always going to be an if or. When anyone's like, why are you calling two things? Because the market is always capable of doing two things. all we do is let everyone else get chopped up, and once it tells us the plays, we join, right? I took the last trade down to here, now trading towards our 5-day. So I'm risk off now, just waiting to see, do we get a clean initial balance low rejection? If not, all right, if not, you need to be very careful if it starts to do this. Lots of liquidity up here if it starts to reprice. But we are in a red day underneath New York Open. The daily bar is very clearly red. And we were in a pump to dump type template. God, tongue twister. We were in a pump to dump type template, as we talked about this morning. I was looking for that short back down. Aid, thanks, Alex. Got my daily bread and locked out for 2,000. Hey, Aid on an absolute fire as always. Yeah, drop me a W in chat if you managed to get some of this with me. It wasn't easy this morning. They made it very, very tricky timing-wise, right? They made it tricky timing-wise by doing this move right into the IB. Very, very tricky to do it there. ES was the easier play today. It's a few days in a row we've had that now. Ryan got some of it. Max got some of it. Aid got some of it. The red line made 600. You're welcome. You're absolutely welcome. Jeff Stewart up 1,700. Hey, red line. That's absolutely fine. Process. Just process. Don't worry if it's in an eval or a sim or your live account or a cash account. Andrew H caught it. Lovely, lovely work, team. Lovely, lovely work. So repricing back towards the initial balance now. Remember, don't guess the high here. Let it show you that it wants to fail. ES is trading through the IBL. NQ pretty much right at it. Chris got a good bit of it. Nice work. Mindful Matters. Nice work. So remember, it's why we don't chase the lows right into a 5-day. We don't chase the lows. We wait for the pullback leg. Let it show you it wants to fail. If it doesn't want to fail, remember the liquidity that it's just built. Oh, come on. Come on, computer. I'm trying to teach here. If it doesn't fail here, right, into these levels, then you need to think about this liquidity if it breaks out and starts to hold and trade back up to here and maybe some of this trendline liquidity, easy targets. But for now, I'd be thinking about how can I get involved in the short? How can I get involved in the short? But good volume exchange down here. Starts to print high, be very, very careful. Looking at an M5, M5 can sort of print above that old high, above 76 and still reprice. You've got 3 minutes until this M15 candle closes. It might go wick to wick and towards 83s around here. So this level on the right chart, this level here for an M15. That would be a full reprice. And then it's got room up to 605, so you wouldn't want it to get up here. If it gets anywhere up there, I'd be very, very cautious about a short. I'd be thinking that we'd probably start to grind, having trap shorts at lows. So I'm going to... The interesting thing here, if you look at ES, ES has almost taken out that NFP low. That NFP low on ES is at 76. Right, so that's the move that we're talking about. I think YM and RTY already did those moves. One of them did that last week, one of them doing it today. And NQ has not done it. That move on NQ would be to come under here. Right here. Let's just mark that out because I keep forgetting to put it in. Okay, so that's NFP. Let's do that white as well. So this was the same trade we were talking about Friday, really. Trying to see if we can come down and take some of this out. So be cautious here. You're still bearish. You're still technically bearish here, but be cautious here if we start to use that liquidity. If it's trapped enough shorts down low, it can start to use the liquidity. We're still bearish versus this so far. Good volume was exchanged there. ES, clear rejection. Higher time frame algo retest, flow zone retest. So this will be key now. Can you get bearish momentum back downside? Looking a bit better here for you. Nice, the red line. Bo got a bit of it. Small green today. Nice work. SP500 max. I just moved my. I just have to stop moving my stop loss too quickly to keep the highest profits. Yeah, it's one of those things. It's hard. You want to protect profits, and it really depends how you're trading. If you're trading on Apex, I advise trading very, very tight with your stop loss. If you're trading on things like Traderify, where, well, at least on the accounts I trade on Traderify, you don't need to worry about that trading drawdown, so you can be a little bit more lax on moving the stop. But I like to be proactive with my stops. I like to lock in money, at least on partials, and keep moving. So very, very different charts here again. ES comfortably under its IBL here. Feel like we might get a new wash coming up here potentially. And I've just moved a zone on Ninja and I don't know where from. Fantastic. And again, there we go. Forgot to say that to them on the phone actually last week. Yeah, proactive's good. Nothing wrong with being proactive. So big buyer on the book down at 500 there, 176 lot. We ran quite a lot of stops down there on that move down. 300 stops got taken out. Trading back upside. Do we find new sellers in here, or does this need a bigger amount of relief and potentially a squeeze from trapping the sellers? Be very cautious of this liquidity now. Beautiful. Trying to join a bit of this as well as we start to reject. Again, I'm trailing here because we might find bids in this imbalance. But if we can really let go, that would be fantastic. Beautiful, lovely. I'm enjoying this move. So short from flow zones, taking a bit more out. Being cautious over these wicks here into 32. If they hold this, remember this would be your sort of quasi. If they hold this, if they continue to fail this, you're looking for a breaker structure down here. Remember, take some partials here, runners through here, and then really can you get down to this level? Looking very, very good here, team. ES extremely weak, all right? ES very, very weak. Taking out previous day low. ES now taking out that NFP low. All right, so make sure you're taking some partials here, just in case we get a big divergence. I'm in runners here, runners only. We had to be patient for this today, like we said. It had to build the liquidity. Remember, earlier in the session, we were in liquidity build. Now we're in multi-time frame momentum short, right, on the session this is. This is not considering the daily. So coming into and around, here's your 5-day moving average. Oh, draw this properly for the team. Here's your 5-day. Here's previous day open. Here's the NFP low. Here's previous day low. This is your ultimate target down here. Anything beyond that is an absolute bonus. Trend day lower. All right, we are looking like a trend day lower here, rejecting the initial balance low. I know we peeked through it a little bit, but it's a zone. We never got through this pivot high. This high made this low. This is a lower high. We need a breaker structure lower low, and we will look to continue this down until we've taken all the liquidity out that we need. I don't really want this to reprice above 50s here, right? I don't want it to reprice above 50s here. I just want to see continuation lower. I want dip buyers to keep stepping in this market because they've been paid for weeks now by just buying every dip, and they're going to learn their lesson, is my hope today. All right, so I want dip buyers to keep stepping in, and they will become the liquidity we can use to go lower. All right, so rejecting point of control through this first block. This is NFP low. Is it here? Yeah, this is NFP low here. So basically 440s. Right, we do have this breakout structure here. So anywhere into here, I'm thinking about if I have enough on, I can take a bit of a partial stop run of that. If we get heavy under this, this is your gap. All right, this is a gap. Like we said, markets like to be efficient. I don't know if it would do it today. Maybe we can get this move today. Maybe we can get a pump to dump tomorrow back for that gap fill. And then maybe we can think about longs for the rest of the week. That would be very, very nice. Come on. Still feel like this can continue lower. Just got to be cautious of divergence. Every other index has now taken out its NFP low. Hey, Max, love it. Great work. Great work. Like I said, I don't want this to reprice above the IBL, above this micro block here, let's call it. I want this just to continue lower. I want buyers to keep stepping in and then use their stops to go lower. That's all I want. People to think this is cheap and they need to step in. And look at the dailies. We've talked about this many, many times. What did we expect today? Here's your rejection. All right, rejection of Bollinger, trading back to 5-day. And we said if we fail this white level, we're going to think about the open and closes of this daily bar. All right. Anyone who's done my course, you know the importance of Malaysian SNR. Open, high, low, and closes. They are very, very key into how I trade. I will be launching a course next year just for Malaysian SNR. I will make it very, very cheap. And anyone who's already done the course, I'm going to probably pretty much give it to you for nothing. So watching previous day low here on ES. All right, like I said, be very, very careful only because we might have divergence. I would like to see this market move lower. But all the other markets have taken out that NFP low. I would like to see NQ do the same thing. I'd like to see it punish dip buyers today. There you go. Here's your breaker structure. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. Let it go. Let it go. Watching this guy at 500 to see if he gets filled, right? Almost 200 lots down there. Lovely. So almost 200 lots in 500. Someone's going to try and absorb this. I expect them to get absolutely whacked. And the next level is 450. Yes, Coop, give the people what they want. Dump it. All right, so 200 lot. Let's see if he holds this market, if he starts to fill. Another 334 stops just got popped there, all right? So all those buyers who were in there, 330 of them just got absolutely wrecked in that last move down, which is why he had a volume spike in that. That buyer at 500 is still there, 192 lots sitting on the tape right there, looking to get filled right now. So you can always take a partial on that breaker structure. If you're looking for the lower prices, of course, you can hold. We would love to see lower prices today. If you're new to the stream, do me a favor, hit that like and subscribe button. Haven't really said it at all today. We are nowhere near our target, guys. Way, way, way off. It doesn't cost you anything. Hit that like button. Loads of you with big W's in chat today. Do me a favor. Hit the like button. Share this stream with your mates. Let's help this start to grow. Do this every day, Monday to Friday, from before the New York Open into lunch for absolutely free. If you want to support the stream, you can always get the membership. I will be providing some content for everyone that does the membership for free. Memberships $4.99 a month on YouTube. Absolutely nothing. If you want to do the course to learn more, the link is below right now. $4.99 for the course, one-time fee. You get the indicator that comes with the course, and you also get Discord. So soaking the bid there at 500. He's still there on the tape. He didn't even get filled. So people front running him right now. ES cannot get back over its previous day low yet. So it's still got room for expansion downside. All the time it keeps rejecting PDL. Running out of levels to look for. So I'm zooming out on the SPY. So really on the SPY, you're looking at gap fill next. So down to, basically down to 604 on the SPY for a full gap fill. Looking good here, rejecting flow zones. All right, multi-time frame bearish. Multi-time frame, we're in bearish momentum. Bearish, 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 bearish. Underneath New York open, first red day. Here's your final targets down here. And then beyond that would be gap fill down here to sort of 280-ish. 280-ish, make sure that's right. Yeah, 280-ish, 310, 280, something like that. I'm sure there's lots of people trying to dip by this. No one in my chat, that's for sure. But I'm sure there are tons of people. I wouldn't be surprised if your favorite prop firm is trying to dip by this right now. So, like I said, there's that guy at 400. He's now with 290 lots. So I just want to see him get taken out. I want to see him get taken out. 10 likes away from 50. Come on, team. Let's get it to 50. Having to be patient here. Watching the ES, need ES to let go. My ES has been relatively weak all day. Mag 7, some of it trying to soak now. So Apple, Microsoft, Amazon and Google are right at their open price, right? They're basically both gone green to red, red to green, and they're flat or slightly green right now. So there's some absorption trying to take place on Google and Amazon right now. Meta now 2% down, Nvidia 3% down, Tesla 1.7% down. Remember that opened up almost 3.8% up, so giving up a lot of its gains back as it expanded up to 400. Beautiful session in the end. I won't be trading this afternoon. It's a solid day in the books for a Monday. Any day like this on a Monday, I will take it. It always feels like if you have a decent day on a Monday, you give yourself that buffer for the week. I know it doesn't work like that, but mentally it works like that. It often works like that for me in the session as well. If I scalp the first trade and have a nice win, it feels like I've got a bit of cushion to work with. My Mondays feel like that for the week. 7 more likes then to get to 50. We can do this, team. We can do this. Remember, back to point of origin. We talked about this morning. You can always go back through this stream and rewatch it. Back to point of origin on the H1. Right, what are our points of origin? Here's your H1 flag. Here's your trend up. We were long in this last week. Here is a W or H1 flag. Here is your trend up. Here is a small flag made overnight for a squeeze and a rejection. This is your telltale signature of there's exhaustion up here. Here is your right shoulder. Where are we going to go? Origin, origin, fail this, origin. We go to where we know buyers participated. Buyers participated here, buyers participated here. That's where we've traded back to. What does that look like on a higher time frame chart if you were just to draw it out? We went over this on the weekend video. It just looks like this, doesn't it? That's all we've done right now to here. All right, and inside this, if we zoomed in, this is a daily. If we zoomed in on an hourly, in this leg up here, we've done this, right? Back to this, back to this area. So understanding higher time frame and basic structure will really, really help you. Because again, this morning, was this a good location to get long from? No. It was not a good location to get long from. Momentum was down on this kill candle. Location is better to get long from here, or gap fill, or down here. All right, and we don't know when it stops. All the time, momentum is down, 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 down. We don't try and long. We need momentum to change, and then we think about long rotation back up. Very, very simple. Too many people try and overcomplicate it. It is very, very simple trading when you can just trade in key levels with momentum. What is location? What is momentum? I did a video on it at the weekend. Go and watch it if you haven't already. Very, very simple. New break of structure here. New low of day. All right, 500 still there on the book. 291 contracts sitting there at 500 on the book. There's no way they don't fill him. Surely they fill him. He's trying to absorb this. That's not enough to absorb it, I would say. Trying to put up a wall there to try and hold price. If we get through him, it's very, very thin down to 450 on the book. So shorts probably covering into him, scared that we can't get through him right now. Glen Paris, when it went into premium above the 50% supply to the left and the flow zone indicator above, I need to pull the trigger there. I'm still in profit. You are talking about when we drove up here? Premium on the hold leg? Yeah, like this sell here is a good sell because don't short this, but short once we fail, retest, stay heavy. That's a good sell versus this. I think that was one of the first shorts I took, or second short I took for this breakdown, and then I got out. And then we did this waterfall. That was the moment where they all got stuck. But I probably required a little bit more patience on this short up here to hold for that. But yes, you are totally right. Looking good here now. It's looking good. It's starting to reject flow zones. They're going to get heavy on this tape. They're going to get heavy on this tape. Go and take him out. Go and take him out. Go and take him out. See ya. See ya. Make sure you're partialing into that. That's a big exchange down there. Take a little partial into that as we take 500 out, please. Next level, if they're going to continue to let this go, is going to be down towards 450 on the book. Yeah, love it, Andrew. W's in chat. W's in chat. Trading into that 5-day moving average now. So mean reversion type 1 from top of Bollinger Band into 5-day is now complete. All right, what did I talk about? Go back to the very, very beginning. What do I talk about? Mean reversion. This to this. If we're going to do a deeper mean reversion, hello, we're all the way down here right now. What's down here? Structure. This will probably actually trend up to here by the time we get there. This would be a nice mean reversion to old high, and then I'd expect some bullish momentum to come back in. All right, same thought process. Everything I'm talking about here, all right, using structure is exactly the same. This is the same as what we just talked about on the hourly and the lower time frame. Remember, if you're struggling to see structure, you can always look at something like this, line chart. Here's your failure here, stuck here. Where do we go back to? Where have we found buyers before? Right, we're coming back into that level. If they fail, where are we going to go back to? Where have we found buyers before? Here's another level. Right, use a line chart. If you struggle to see price action, use line charts. They will help you understand. This is where buyers are, buyers are, buyers are. This is where sellers were, sellers were. If we fail this underneath, reject, will become sellers. We'll go to the next level. Level 1, level 2, level 3. Super duper simple. Keep it simple. Don't need to overcomplicate it. Red line with a W, max with a W. Love it, absolutely love it. All right, guys, so you should be trying to hold on. If you can, you should be trying to hold on for down here. All right, if you've got enough small size left, don't be adding late down here. Remember, the last short location was up here. Don't be adding late down here. This is actually quite far away. This is like 70 points. All right, but if the market will let you hold a runner into this zone here, please. Love it. I absolutely love it, guys. Love seeing you guys win. It makes me way happier than me winning myself. Seeing you guys win is the best thing ever. Knowing that you are learning as well. And no fresh shorts down here, please. Please do not chase this market lower. All right, you should either be in this or waiting for a new setup. I think we want to come down here, but again, observe liquidity. If we reprice, we have trendline liquidity here. If it wants to do something like this to come and sweep all of this, it can, and then maybe there VWAP catches up and it fails again. I don't know, but what you don't want to be is short, 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 blow up, and then see it fail. That's the common mistake. M5 looking very good. Daily looking very good. Beautiful. Short around, hang on, short around 450. 450 is underneath us, dude. I was saying a cover into here. Was I saying 450 before? I probably meant 550 up here for this push. Don't want it to go above sort of 550-ish. Yeah, strong momentum day down. Very, very easy to see. Multi-time frame right here. XX, lower time frame, bearish. Higher time frame, bearish. Flow zones, bearish. Once these started, look how much easier it is once they started to expand. We shorten the flow zones and we're underneath the initial balance low. All right, so all the time we're sideways, chop, 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 expansion, then we join a bit. All right, so if you can sit through all this crap and wait for it to start to let go, bear flag, bear flag, bear flag, underneath the low of day, rejection low of day. All right, so we trade down, we trade back up. This pivot right here is to this previous low of day. Reject, reject, underneath IBL, we are in bearish momentum. How do we know this now? Lower time frame algo is above, higher time frame algo is above momentum cloud, right? So this is what we want to see for bearish momentum. Do I reckon there's a short entry still? Not down here, Ryan. Even though I think we go lower, not down here. This is the obvious level that it's trying to draw towards. For me, I would need some form of bull trap. So something like this would be the next short entry for me. Right, when we come and sweep all of this. If we're just going to trend down all day, when we're this close to the liquidity, it's very hard, right? This is what it's aiming for now. Previous day open, previous day low, NFP. You don't want to chase this because the bounce, if they trigger the bounce early, you're going to get squeezed out. So like I said, 450, the next level on the actual book, right? Which is previous day open. Yeah, previous day open, 450, NFP, 440-ish. Previous day low, 424. Thanks for the 50 likes. Thank you, team. How are people losing? I'm just having a look at like some of the other influencers. How are you getting smashed on days like today? Oh, house account up 1,800, you know, a whole 10% of what they're willing to lose. Nuts. So VIX still tearing, right? VIX still on a tear, trading up towards trading up towards 14s now. Remember we said 1380 was the break, 1360, 1380 towards 14s now. If it breaks out this now, we can trade towards 15s. We trade up there. The market is going to keep absolutely dumping. Yeah, Bo, exactly. Still trading lower. All right, so here is previous day open now, right? White line, previous day open. NFP is just underneath. I'm going to make sure I've got that marked really, really well here. I'm checking Ninja for the NFP low as well. So yeah, 440, I have NFP low. All right, so a ton of stops will be there. So we just took out that 450 buyer. They just keep trying to guess. 440 coming up. Like we said, draw on liquidity, 440. It is coming up. That's the NFP low. We take that out. Then you have previous day low. We are in expansion lower mode. Then we can think about gap fill. SPY is not far away from filling its gap and becoming efficient already. Yeah, Bo, you got it 39.75. Yeah. So I'm there or thereabouts. I'm there or thereabouts. Traded right into it there. And the NFP low right here, this white line. So a bit of front running it again. I still think we go and take it out. We're that far down now. I feel like the gap fill is probably probable on the SPY. So gap fill on SPY will trade into 603.90. I'm going to make sure that's accurate again because these are probably rough areas. Let's make sure I've got that accurate. Yeah, that's pretty good. 603.90-ish on the SPY for the cash gap fill. So to give you an understanding of how weak the SPY and ES is, it is the equivalent of us being down here right now. So there you go. NFP wick taken. Beautiful. So I'm going to fill. All right, I am out there. I'm not going to hold anymore. That is a lovely, lovely day for me. I still think we can go lower, but going to lock in some of my gains here. Previous day low would be the next level, and then again gap fill all the way down here. All right, so SPY ES is very close or not very far away. It's I'd say 88. It's about 10 points away from this move here. 10 points away, and we're what, 150 odd points away. It's easy to fall into that trap once you catch the top or bottom or two, you become invincible. And yes, that is exactly it, Ali. You will reward yourself, right? So if you get into a bad habit and you catch the bottom or you catch the top and you win, that dopamine hit is so big, it will make you try and do it again and again and again. Except one day, you'll keep trying to catch it and you'll keep adding to your loser and you lose everything. It's very common. I've been there. I used to do it in small caps. I used to try and catch the tops on short plays. I remember MOXN I was trying to catch the top on. It was a Chinese ticker, which has been taken away right now. It's completely illegal. It was a lie of a social company. And I got smoked. Right, so I learned my lessons many, many years ago. It's very, very common. So nice reaction there after taking the NFP low. We took that NFP low by like a couple of ticks or something. Here it is. We traded down to 36.25 and I had it at 440 and there's the reaction off it. All right, so we can still go lower. There's still targets underneath if it wants to go. But the easy trade, what do we talk about? The layup trade has gone. Right, the layup trade, VWAP to IB has gone. They've all gone now. Layup trades have gone. You should be locking in most of your money for the day and you should all be up very, very nice. You can still hold runners if you're looking for a move lower, but you should not be entering short down here. You are asking for trouble if you're entering short down here. Counter trend long coming up. Yeah, maybe, Glenn. Maybe. There's still targets below if it wants to go there. I would rather wait and just take short plays today. But it's possible. I mean, you have stops here, quite a big pool of stops here. So if they start to pivot, possible that they aim for some of these before then repricing back down, and then we can think about a bigger move of a W leg. Right, so if this takes like an hour or two to do this, then we'd be looking at this if they hold this low down here, and then we can think about that for the rest of the week. Again, it still has liquidity down below. It still has previous day low. It still has the support and the gap fill. If we get to higher time frame charts, we still have sweeps here. I would say 420. Extend the range if we come and test the old value area low into 390, and that is in the gap then. Now this gap you can see if I go to regular, right, this gap right here, this is a cash gap. So everything that you see, all price action you see in here was done in Asia and London. This was a gap up, a gap and go day that we did last week into Wednesday. So if we get thin, if we get into here, we get thin, we can come and fill this whole gap, and this would be back to structure. Does that make sense for everyone? Let me know if it made sense for you all today. CC, I just get the feeling like most times you're on stream, you're looking for the reversal a lot of the time, buddy. A lot of the time. Just be careful having that mentality. Yeah, drop me a W if you're green. Let me know if everything today that we talked about made sense to you. If you're not understanding why we've done this move, then let me know in chat and I'll try and go through it and explain it for you as simple as I can. A really nice pump to dump move today. This was sort of what I would have liked to have seen on Friday, but I had a feeling we would do it today. Ryan green, Bo green, Marek green. Starting to build liquidity underneath now. Hey, John Dennis made 1,750. Glenn, W's in chat. Scalp short max, nice. Chris with the W's. Mitch F, WWW. Big green day for Mitch then. So liquidity building both sides of the book. So buyers now stepping in at 437, 425, but we have sellers above, all right? At 500, there's 125 lot, and then we have 200, 200, 100 all placed at 512, 515, 520, 525. So they're stacking that move up towards 515, 525, all right? Stacking that move here, all right? They're stacking the move for sellers here. They're trying to see if we get through it. Remember, if we get there and do this, we will use liquidity. If we return inside of initial balance, be careful of any squeeze triggers. I'm not saying we do that. I'm saying if we get there. Abe, currently red. Sorry to hear that, buddy. Don't fight trends. Don't worry, Thumper. It will come. It will all come with time. Ryan, would really like to be in this because it definitely looks like it's going to go lower. But you're green today to be grateful. Yeah, be grateful. Like the low-hanging fruit trade, we talk about it all the time. We have had the low-hanging fruit trade on stream. All right, so once we get that trade, we go way more risk off. It needs to build liquidity now. Hopefully it's trapped shorts at the bottom. It can squeeze them, come back up, trap longs up here, and then start to fail and retest this low, and then we would be thinking maybe we can get a short down there, cover here, holding for runners for break of structure and lower, but we would respect a retest of the low. Remember, once we trade away from something after a strong move, we might trade away and then return in and see if buyers step back in. Very, very, very common. So it would look something like this today. All right, so we've traded down, and then we've extended, maybe we've done this and then extended. And then if we do this and come and take some of these guys out, then we'd see if we can trap buyers and trade back into the area where smart money got long, right? So we'd be thinking about a short here, back down into this, covering here. If we break down, we hold runners. If we hold this, then we might come and reprice a lot of it. This would probably happen tomorrow and Wednesday. If we got down here today, we might just trade back and forth between this unless we extend lower. I don't think we reprice up here today. That's probably a tomorrow or Wednesday type play. Bo, I don't think we're going to reject 500, only because I'm looking at the book and I can see everyone above. I think they're going to try and pull it up a little bit further. You might be right. 500 would line up with previous day low on ES, but there are 200 lot sellers, 512, 515, 520, 525. They're just like stacking up there, trying to act like a magnet to pull the market up. And I'm watching this guy at 500. He's 140 lot. He was 120, back down to 118. I'm seeing if he pulls his offer to try and let it through here. I'd say there's quite a few stops here. All these wicks. Maybe it takes some of this out and then see how we act in and around this zone. You might well be right, but just because of the book, what's this leg into golden zone here? Well, it's not bad. Just be careful. If the flow zones start to flip, remember, it's probable that breakout sellers are idiots and came in here underneath previous day close. Remember, breakout sellers and breakout buyers are what we use for liquidity in the market. So here's your test into 500. Through 500, like I talked about. So I think they squeeze this a little bit here. Again, you got sellers all the way up to 25 on the book. They're starting to pop stops now. So 70 stops just got popped there. So probably got a little long squeeze here for 10, 20, 15, maybe 25 points up to 25, and then see what it does. Previous day low test there on the ES. So into 75-ish, that's previous day low test on the ES. If they reprice through this on the ES, they're going to go for the initial balance low. Yeah, capped. Don't worry about that, mate. It's very normal to feel like that when you first use trade copier. Just do everything the same as normal. You're going to be fine. Yeah, you have big imbalances to reprice, Bobo. Like we've just repriced the first 5 minute. The hourly can trade right up to 580. But where's value area low on the session? Value area low would be to 550, but it could reprice that hourly up to 580. 4 hours going to look pretty drastic right now. But I don't think we get that high. Who knows? It depends how many shorts get trapped now. ES still underneath PDL. I'm going to stay with you here for another 40 minutes or so. You should all be having very nice sessions. If you're not having a good session today, probably one of two things has happened. You've tried to fight the trend, or you've been nervous and chased it late or moved your stop a little too tight. So it would just be about tweaking your strategy. That's all it's going to be about. The setups have been there today. So don't pound yourself if you're not having a great day. Just journal, try and figure out where you went wrong and make the changes, all right? VIX trading a back downside. So VIX traded all the way up to 1422s, ran all the stops. Yeah, it ran all the stops at 1415. And now we need to see if VIX can find some bid support around 1380, I'd say. It's starting to trade into now, 1383. So you want to see if it finds bid support here. If not, 1360 again would be the next level. Same levels every day so far on the VIX. We are inside channel. All right, so still got these sellers on the book. They're still present. All right, so 100 to 200 lots. One lot just got taken out right there. So 116 orders just above into tens. And they've started thinning out above this now. So if they start pulling these orders and the buyers squeeze it straight up, they might just let it through a bit further. Again, ES right at previous day low. Now, watching this on multiple time frames here. Don't want to get too locked into the lower time frame. You are starting to break trend. There is definitely start to see flipping this here for squeeze up, starting to flip flow zones. How it acts around here will be key for the rest of the day. If it can come and attack this, if it gets through this, we really open the door for something more violent. Max 7 again, very, very split again now. Apple now 1.5% up, mad. Microsoft almost 1% up. Amazon 0.75% up, Google 0.5% up, Meta 2% down, Nvidia 3% down, Tesla 1.6% down. So a mixed bag across those. I'm going to have a look what is trading where in terms of support. Wow, Apple just on an absolute tear, but starting to look like it's putting in a bit of a blow off top up here. Microsoft the same, straight upside squeeze. Amazon trading into a supply zone right now. Google trading up to an old high. All right, Google needs to break out of 77, 75-ish for a chance at new all-time high. Meta with a bounce off previous Thursday low. Nvidia just getting smacked, as are all the chips, but coming into areas, interesting areas where it broke out from in towards 35s, and Tesla giving back the whole of Friday's squeeze up. ES now through previous day low. So they're trying to reprice here through the liquidity pools, through 25s. Maybe come and run all of these stops, and then you have to see, do they put the squeeze on, or are they really just coming to try and steal some liquidity to go and retest the low? All right, are they going to try and steal liquidity to retest the low? Or are they going to use the liquidity and the late shorts to try and get back through IB and VWAP and then back to open? Again, like I just read out on the Mag 7, you have a very, very mixed board right now. It's a great bounce here on the ES and SPY though. $5.30. Yeah, I mean, on the M1, I'd argue it's way lower. So on the M1, you're doing this, Ryan. So I'd argue that was it on an M1. On an M5, though, I would say, yeah, maybe even 570. So very, very different. On an M5, you've just done this. Yeah, so this is the main leg M5. M1's trying to reprice some of this. So the M1, as soon as we took what I covered here, remember? As soon as we took the NFP, we had this imbalance and we started repricing. And we're trying to get towards this liquidity here. Remember I said 25 is the last lot. They've actually thinned right out. So they've pretty much all been filled now. They've just thinned out. So maybe now it will want to reprice towards this area. And you have to see if buyers step in here or if they hold flow zones now. This is why I don't love trading after the low-hanging fruit has gone. Like, this was the low-hanging fruit. You hear me say that again and again and again on stream. As soon as we hit NFP, I was like, I've made enough. I've made enough. It's a good session. Because the question now is really, is this legit buying down here? Do we retest this and do they step back in? Do we retest this and do they fail? Right, is this effectively a handle? Do we build a handle out here to go lower on like an H1? Or are shorts trapped here and are we just going to squeeze violently higher? Remember, we've been in a big downtrend today. That was your first channel. And we moved aggressively from that channel to here, which we've now just tagged the top of. And then we went down aggressively. Lower time frame starting to try and move to bullish on an M1 because we're repricing above flow zones. Remember, the true trigger of the flow zones will be through the deep pullback. You would need momentum to get above deep pullback. We don't have that alignment yet. We have a ton of liquidity here. How we at there is key. Either this or this. Running out of reasons to go lower. Right, we've run out of reasons to go lower other than to reprice this whole thing. But again, like I said, that might be a tomorrow move. Watching like the M5s and things like that here, right? Watching this. This guy here, this was failure, pullback, failure. This is an interesting area here on an M5. On an H1, this here and this here. Value area low, old wicks where we broke down from, point of control. These are the three areas I'll be looking at. We just tagged right into value area low on the session. So currently, we haven't expanded this value area low. We've tried, but we've traded back inside. So if they start reclaiming value area low, then we can think about where sellers last were. If they start reclaiming this, that'd be a full reprice. If we reject this or we reject this, then we can think about this move into gaps. Again, it might not be this session. The low hanging fruit has gone. You're going to get a buy signal print here shortly. Just remember, it's not above the deep pullback yet. Yeah, I mean, it could reprice the entire move down. I would find that unlikely. But it is very, very much possible. Remember, Glenn, all we're always thinking about is who's trapped in the trade. Shorts have been in control all day, but did breakout shorts become stupid and enter underneath here? Very, very possible. Did they chase down here? And are they now averaging back in here, hoping that we can get them out break even? Again, very, very possible. Momentum now is not downside, is it? This was downside. This is pullback for now. But if we put in a higher low and a higher high, momentum's upside then for a run back at all these levels. So location's better for the short, but high probability trade's gone. Momentum's upside for now. If we start to fail, thinking about, do we hold this level where buyers came in, or are we going to take out previous day low and the gap fill? I wouldn't say V-shape. I wouldn't say V-shape yet. I'd say something like this or something like this is likely to happen first, just because of this here. V-shape normally happens more when you get like that. Because the V shape is because of structure, lack of structure. I would say right now, we've got some structure to play against. Oh, here. So the first part of the V, like this part, V shape, because here, lack of structure. Here, good structure. I understand what you're saying. Yeah, volume tapering right off. Tapering right off here. You got 25 minutes till lunch. I would imagine most shorts, most people who are looking for this play hours, looking for that deeper pullback, have made their money. Remember, like, we're going to go back to the daily chart. Where do we talk about the market wanting to come to? We've done it. We've done the move, the main move we've done. If we break below this on the daily, we can think about this here, which is basically the gap. We'd need to break below this. There's an imbalance here on a daily and there's a gap. But so far, the high probable move, Bollinger Band, 5-day, is where buyers came in for that move. We expect buyers to come in again here. Even if they don't, because we expect that, being a short seller from here, we're going to cover here. If they don't show the hand, then we go lower. It's just psychology, really, is the best way of putting it. Yeah, like even on this, I mean, this M15 could reprice, couldn't it? Somewhere up here. So there's the buy signal. We said it would probably fire as it starts to build liquidity if it can hold above the flow zones. All right, if they get an expansion here, if you're taking this as a counter trend long, you need to be thinking about all these liquidity levels. You should not be chasing and chasing, hoping it does the whole thing. It might not do very much at all. It might just be looking to trade up to steal some liquidity to then retest the low. We haven't really retested the low here. But this is potential squeeze signature here, right here. It's not something I'm looking to take. I like the pro trend trades. I'm hands off. I've made my money. I'm not going to be greedy. But if you're taking that, you can think about it. ES is getting through its previous day low. From a structure wise, I don't love this on an M5 for the long. It might well play out, but just what are you risking off? I mean, you're going to have to risk this, and actually this is a better trade for a long, in my opinion, because we've built out significant liquidity here. There you go. These stops. If we steal that and then trade up here, for me, that's a better long then. We haven't really retested any of these parts where buyers truly came in. But if you're going to trade the momentum, you can do so. Just remember, deep pullback is above you. People's stops are here. IBs are here. This is not pro trend. Flow zones are not above deep pullback. Just remember that. Trade your style, your way. I'm not telling you what to do. I won't be taking this long. I've told you why I won't be taking it long. It doesn't mean that it cannot play out for you. All those buyers down at 437 and 425 have just pulled their orders. Here you go. So here's a sweep of the stops up here. So if I was thinking about buying, I would like what I'm seeing now. I'd happily for it to go lower. I want it to take everyone out who's chased up here. This is not a region I'd want to buy from. I'd want to see it take out late buyers and then return back upside. But remember, structure-wise, on an M5, we are still bearish, like we just went over in the charts. For an M5, we are still bearish. Here's your M5. Do. All we've done is come back into here. We expect a retest of somewhere around here. Imbalances. Does it hold there? Then I'm thinking about a long. I need to see a higher low and a higher high, really, for me to think about a long. Don't get too zoomed in on the M1. Yeah, M3 is fine as well, Glenn. Wait for the M3. You can see how relaxed I get once I take my trade and I'm like, I'm done. I don't like over trading. I really don't. I like getting the high probability setups. We are in trend day lower still. We have not got back above IBL. I'm trying to remind myself that. VIX is now trading at that 1380. So it dropped a little bit below, didn't take out 1360, and is now back above 1380. So does it find some bids here on the VIX for a squeeze back upside past that 1420 mark? That would be the breakout if it gets past 1420. Where would I like the long? If I was thinking about a counter trend long, like I said, I want to see these stops taken out, ideally a reprice down here, a return back up here, and then we can use shorts liquidity for the squeeze back up. Otherwise, I want to see how it reacts here. Does it just keep wanting to go down? There is reason to go lower if it wants. I'm done. You took sorry, Abe. 3 trades and take the loss. Yeah. If you're down on the day and you've had 3 trades and you're down, like maybe you're not seeing the market how you should, just walk away. Come back, trade again tomorrow, new setup tomorrow, and we go again. It's a very big soak on the hourly there. So 20 minutes till lunch. I cannot wait to eat. I am starving. I'm going to eat and go for a big lift in the gym. Yeah, for sure, Glenn. I mean, they're on the book here at 475. They've literally just come back on. 112 lot, 475, 450, 120 lot, 496 lot. So, like I said, bounce, maybe retest some of these levels, and then we have to see, do the buyers come back in? All right, so from here to here. If this is a quick move down and a quick move back up and in here, then I think a long is probably good. If this is just a drip down like this, all right, then maybe we go lower. And that's why I was saying I don't like the long up here, even though this is printing. It just makes sense to come further down, take these guys out who chase the market, use their stops, come back down here. If smart money really wants to buy it down here, they will. Otherwise, lower prices. We are beneath initial balance low, remember, and we never, flow zones never got above the deep pullback. We never got this move. We are multi-time frame bearish still for now. Why I didn't like the long up here. That comes from experience, knowing the market, knowing what it, not what it wants to do is the wrong word, but like what it is probable to do is probably the right way of me putting that. What it is probable to do. We never know what it wants to do. We can create thesis, but it's what it's probable to do. Remember the M5, you should not be zoomed in too much to the M1. M5 is telling you lower prices still for now. So 475 order on the book. Guy down there, 117 lots. See if they come and take him. Then 450 and then 400. I am starving. Cannot stop thinking about food. The one thing that's hard, I know, Glenn, you're on the West Coast as well. Do you eat while you trade or before you trade? I never do. Sometimes I'm lucky if my wife brings in some food for me. How far have we dropped now? Into that bull flag type territory. I would love a clear move lower before I even think about a long. Especially knowing that there's a gap fill on previous day low under us. Don't like having that loitering. No appetite, yeah. I'm starving now. I think it's because mentally, once I'm like, I've finished trading for the day, my brain just goes straight to food. So reprice of 500 here. So reclaiming 500 here. They have swept these stops to the downside, those buyers who chase late. So it's possible it's trying to do what we just talked about. Think about time of day as well. You're 15 minutes away from a new hour, so you're open to manipulation here. Back in for surgery, John. Thanks for asking. We don't know if it would be this week or January. Basically, he had flu, so he couldn't go back under the knife. So this will be the third time to remove some of the tumour. But pretty positive. Spoke to him at the weekend. Seems to be doing pretty well. And then he'll start some therapy as soon as the third surgery finishes. But appreciate you asking, John. But not too bad. So PDL here on ES. PDL here on the ES. Can it put in a 5-minute structure for expansion higher here on ES? It looks like potentially can hold a pivot to move higher here on ES. Out of interest, let's just check this. Anchored view up off the low, and let's do an anchored view up off the opening range high. And one off here as well. All right, so this is where sellers' average price is. This is where buyers who bought the low average price is right now. $96-hour fast, yeah. I watched Limitless series 1 a while ago with oh, what's his name? The guy that plays Thor, the Aussie actor. And he did that in there, 96-hour fast. I should do it. I should do it and give it a go. Yeah, it's a series. It's on National Geographic. It's basically about what we can do as human beings to delay aging effects. Some of the stuff he does in it is nuts. It's really it's probably nothing you don't already know, but it just brings it to surface in a really cool way. So it's maybe a 6 or 8 part series. Really, really good. Really worth watching. I think you'll probably enjoy it. But yeah, fasting's in there. Breathwork's in there. Different types of strength and conditioning training is in there. But like really interesting. Like, so with I don't want to ruin it for you, the fasting one, but he basically goes to, I can't remember if they're in the Amazon or Africa, but to a tribe who rely on hunting to eat their food, and how when you fast, you release, I can't remember what it is, but like an enzyme in your body, which makes you more alert because you require the food. So it makes you more alert to go and hunt. So it's actually really good for your body to do it. But it's quite interesting, especially when he's training for Thor, trying to fast. Probably not the ideal circumstances because that guy is huge. And I am not small. I'm 216 pounds. Here you go. Here's the squeeze. So a little W pattern there after the pullback, starting to hold. Maybe they can trigger a squeeze up. This is looking better in terms of volume here. Here's the W, micro W on that. So into the deep pullbacks, you'd be looking for liquidity higher here if it can search for it. Like I said, the M5 on ES looked pretty good there. Is it M5 or M10? Hang on. Yeah, M5. M5 on ES looked very good. Yeah, exactly, TR. That's exactly it. Reverses cancer effects and diabetes, yeah. Ali Patel, I've been doing them from years. I wish I would have started earlier. Best thing for your body and mind. Yeah, I think you're probably right. You're probably right. I will comfortably fast 12 to 18 hours, no problem. But I need to bite the bullet and get through 1 day and 2 day and 3 days. But good for you for doing them. There's stuff in there as well about cold water therapy and saunas and all these type of things. Looking very good here, guys, for a squeeze up. If you're in this long, if you took this counter trend long, be a little aggressive with your stops. All right, remember you're coming into a new hourly bar in about 8 minutes. If you can take out this hourly high at 528, you need to take out the previous hour open close 506. You take out 528, you will be at the value area low on the session. If you can get through that, there is potential for expansion up to 583. I'm not saying you do that. I'm saying there is potential for an expansion up here. My account balance on Trader 5 versus Trader 8, I'm assuming today's profit hasn't updated. Yeah, probably hasn't updated till end of day, Ryan. I don't know because I'm trading live with them, so it probably updates as I go, but I would assume that's what it is. Definitely Tradeify doesn't update until end of day or like the new session. So you look pretty good for a squeeze out here. You want to watch ES if it can get through IBL into VWAP. Again, you're not pro trend yet. This is not through deep pullback yet, but if you can do that, if flow zones start to come up here, you can think about, these are the liquidity pools I'd be thinking about trading into, right? If it can do that. Just be very cautious. If it fails and comes back down, this is the liquidity to retest lows. Again, you're just over 5 minutes until lunch. Yeah, exactly right. So last update Friday. Yeah, I'm sure it'll update today. I'll check their Discord in case there's any chat from them. It looks all good. I think it will update after the session. Should be fine. Ali, out of interest, did you need to build up to that, or did you just decide like one day, right, I'm doing it for 3 days, and you stuck to it, and mentally once you know you can do that, you feel comfortable? Or did you need to do like a day one time and then next day 2 days and so forth? "21 days on water alone." Jeez, Glenn, that's really good. There's no way I could do that. I mean, never say never, but really. What was your first meal afterwards? What did you have something that you wanted to eat, or by that point do you just not care? Fruit. TR. Yeah, just go full cannibal afterwards. I would imagine it'd be fruit for me as well, Glenn. I think that's what I'd crave. I find myself, as the older I get, the more fruit I crave every single day, interestingly. I never used to like love eating fruit, especially in my like years of playing rugby. It was just like tuna and chicken, and that was it, just protein and carbs. But all I want is fruit now. So Ali said he went 5 days out the gate, and then after 36 hours, the hunger goes away, and you're euphoric. Wow. And do you sleep well? Man, you guys are all amazing. Look at you guys, like 7 days without it, 21 days without it, 5 days without it. I do like 12 hours, and I'm sitting here being like, I'm quite hungry. I don't think I'd want to do it when I'm trading. That's for sure. I think I'd need to do it with a break from trading. Did you surf in Costa Rica, Glenn? My wife goes out there to surf quite a lot. Nice, capped. No surf. So we're going to use this liquidity here, I think, guys. Like we said, once we get that pullback in, if we can then use these stops, and these stops will fuel the move to get to the next pools of liquidity. All right, everything we talked about, go back, zoom back to when we were up here. I was talking about a move further down here, and then this move. And that's when I feel more comfortable about taking a long, because I know we've got shorts trapped in the market here, and we can use their stops to get up to these stops, the IBL, these stops, the higher time frame, and these stops, and the VWAP, right? So once we build the liquidity, we use the liquidity. It's why patience pays. This down here, this reprice was good. Sleep unaffected, amazing. Yeah, really good surf there. Yeah, it's pretty, I mean, it's probably getting more and more popular, but untouched. Really, capped? You don't think so? Like, if I'm not used to it, like lack of like your blood sugar levels and stuff, I think I'd be more comfortable doing it when I'm not trading for the first time, just to see how I feel. I like to be in my comfort zone trading. I don't want to be out of my comfort zone. And then if I feel really good on it, then I think I would agree. I'd happily do it. I mean, I rarely eat in the mornings. The last time I ate now was 6 o'clock last night. So what's the time now? It's 9 a.m. 15 hours. Is that right? Not bad. 15 hours. Come on, mate. That's nothing. All these guys doing 7 days. I'm saying it's not bad. So here you go. ES with that 5-minute bull flag breakout after reclaiming previous day low, trading into IBL. If it reclaims IBL, you know the probable move then will be up to view up. Interestingly, your human growth hormone spikes thousands times higher on a fast to preserve muscle. Yeah, that makes total sense. Major positive delta. Yeah, I'm sure there's big positive delta in the market right now. Shorts feel like they got trapped up there. I think the best long was like here and maybe here, and then I'd be like taking some of my position off on a squeeze up, expecting that at some point shorts will come back in for a move back down into this zone, and then how we work out here will be key if we start to break down, or if it's just to then reabsorb to go higher. But this signature here, I'd say, is normally key. This here, breakdown, absorption, gives you that inverted head and shoulder look, and then you have shorts trapped in the market here, and we should really be using them. The big problem here is ES has used them. Right, so ES has done the move, NQ hasn't done the move. The ES has already done the move up to here. ES definitely been a better trader the last few days. So far, this looks like a nice first red day for a true lower prices. Yeah, I would agree. But for me, we've had the probable move. What I would say, if you zoom out to like an M15, I'm just going to take these off for a second. This looks quite attractive. I don't know if it does it in this session or not. Right, so that's what I'm thinking about later in this week. It's just how high does this handle need to build for sellers to come back in? And then this. So that's what I'm potentially thinking about. Maybe it does it today and just goes straight down. I don't know. Hopefully not, because I'd like to participate in this tomorrow. I would like a first red day. What would be really nice if we think about our daily count? So here's our high, a lower high. I'd like a lower high set. Open up here tomorrow. Expand lower on Tuesday. Maybe fill this gap or most of this gap. I'm going to zoom out here for you a little bit. And then what would be really nice, I'm giving away all my secrets here, is on a Wednesday, a failure to move lower and a trade back inside. Wednesday, Thursday, and then whatever Friday gives, I don't care. We'll figure that out then. But this would be nice. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then we see Thursday, Friday. That would be lovely. Those who have done the course or are doing the course, you will know exactly why I'm thinking about that. But this is good. Into a five-day moving average, holding it. Tomorrow for the short, yeah, possibly for continuation. Yeah, possibly. It really depends what we do today and where we close. I would absolutely love that TR, but it honestly depends where we close today, what liquidity we leave as low-hanging fruits. But it would be nice. It would definitely be nice for tomorrow. But I'm into lunch now, so I am going to go for a lift. And even though we've talked about fasting, I'm going to eat something. Any questions before I go, team? I know loads of you made some good money today. If you didn't check out the videos I did over the weekend on Traderify, why I think you need to sign up for Traderify before January 7th if you're interested, because you will get the best deal, you will get the most amount of accounts available, and you will also have the maximum amount of drawdown. So that is only for the straight funded account. Okay, so if you're interested in that, watch the video. I also dropped a video on Sunday talking about the 2 questions you need to ask before you take every single trade. Very simple: location and momentum. If you struggled with today, watch that video. It will really, really help you. Any questions before I sign off here, team? Seems like everyone is good. Yeah, no worries, Cap. Absolute pleasure. I love working with you guys. Ryan, you're away in Edinburgh tomorrow for a few nights. Be back Friday. All right, buddy. Have a great time in Edinburgh. I love that city. Absolutely love it. Thank you, everyone, for showing up. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys on stream. It's great to work with like-minded people, kind people, helping each other, making money together. Always great. Have a great rest of the day. Thank you to all my new members. Everyone that joined up. I think it was Marek, and who was the other one? Marek and Miguel, thank you. Thank you for joining the membership. Gabriel, shoot the question. Put the question in. You're saying you got a question, put it in before I go. Last chance. Don't make it an essay. No worries, Ryan, all good. If I was extremely pressed to get an account up 50% in 30 days, where would you start? Give me a bit more background there. You need to make 50% on an account to pass. I wouldn't do anything differently, Gabriel. I would trade my account exactly the same way for 30 days, no matter what. It would just be sticking to my process, taking the A+ trades when they're there and not taking them when they're not. 30 days is more than enough time. Making 50% on account, not necessarily easy, depending on account size, but definitely doable. Max, I'm going to go through that later, buddy. I did see the email come through. I haven't had a chance to look at it. I don't think it was a Ninja demo email. I think it was Apex are about to launch their own platform, a bit like Top Step X. I'm not really, I haven't applied to do it to have 3 accounts. You could do it if you want 3 free accounts from Apex and they've sent you that email, by all means do it. I haven't done it because I don't want to trade on any other platforms. I love trading on Ninja, so I want to execute on Ninja as much as possible. John Dennis with the membership, thank you very much. Yeah, no worries, Gabriel. Yeah, just stick to the process. Don't change anything. Don't change anything. And I will be back same time tomorrow. If you made good money today, please consider logging off or set your price alerts. Don't be giving back to the market, okay? Remember, it's just like a casino. It wants everyone to chase in at all times. That's what it wants to do. Fight that urge to do it. Take the A+ setups, take the low-hanging fruit, move on. I will be back tomorrow morning before the open, and we're going to do the same thing all over again. Let's have a great week. Let's smash the last few weeks into Christmas and the new year and the holiday season. Until then, peace and love. Use hard stops. You know the deal. Peace out.